Hello and welcome back to Soul Path Dreaming. If you are following me here from Facebook, you know that this is Pile A. On Facebook, I go live on Sundays, Wednesdays, and Friday, where I read spirit-guided messages for your spiritual growth and development. Yesterday, which was Friday the 11th, we did a pick a pile where one pile was read live and this is the pile that was recorded. We will be doing more of these, so if you would like to participate on the pick a piles, you can find me on Facebook at Soul Path Dreaming. If not, like and subscribe this video where you will receive all of the opposite piles that were not picked. Let's just hop right into this spirit-guided message. So, we're going to start the reading with a couple of deep breaths in and out through the nose so that you can center yourself, allow spirit to come in, and if anything resonates with you during the reading, really allow your body to feel that. If anything does not resonate with you during the reading, please just let it go. It is not meant for you. These are just generalized readings where Spirit will be asking you certain questions about your personal growth and development, how you can further your ascension path. So, let's take one in and out through the nose, 2, and 3. So we will hop right into this. This pile was chosen with a strawberry quartz, and we're going to start the reading with an affirmation. This card is from the Circle Healing deck from Alana Fairchild. It says, "My spiritual progress is steady and true. My soul faithfully continues to manifest beauty that nourishes all hearts." And I'll read it one more time. My spiritual progress is steady and true. As my soul faithfully continues to manifest divine beauty that nourishes all hearts. And this kind of, to me, looks like a friendship bracelet. So I'm going to age myself here, but when I was a younger kid, we used to make these friendship bracelets. So it's kind of talking to me about how we have a friendship with our spiritual team, with our direct source, that link, that bridge that we have to source energy, whether you call that God, whether you call that spirit, universe, whatever you choose for you is perfect. Then the next card is the body card. So this card is asking us, how are we aligned in our purpose? This is from the Tree Oracle Ascension deck. It talks about our chakra system and it asks you journal prompt questions. But for today, we're going to ask ourselves, where in my physical body do I have pain? Where in my spiritual body do I feel blocked? How do I know when I feel aligned? And for those of you who are asking, well, how do I know if I feel aligned? When you feel aligned, you will feel peaceful. You will feel peaceful. You won't be overly happy or excited, and you won't be overly grumpy or sad or angry. You will be somewhere in flow state, where everything continually feels natural. The next card is card 17 for my number people. So this is crow spirit. So you might be seeing a lot of crows, or you resonate with crows, or crows are something that is coming up for in your awareness, and it says co-create with spirit. What does that mean? Co-create means, how are you being artistic? How are you playing? How are you tapping into your own personal inspiration? Who makes you feel inspired? Now, when it says co-create with spirit, spirit can come through anyone. It can come through your friends. You can be inspired by a drive. You can be inspired by a song you heard on the radio, and then it'll prompt you to take some sort of action. Spirit is our interconnectedness that we have with Mother Earth, with our sacred circle, with really anybody. So, and how we feel on this physical plane. The next card, and if you add these two numbers together, they make 8. So you can become essentially infinitely inspired if you so choose. And by doing so, you will become more aligned. You will become more rooted with who you are as a person, as your natural, organic person, the flow state person, your soul essence. The next card is card 27. Fox spirit. Think on your feet. This is a question of, how are you acting quickly? Are you having to act quickly, or are you having to react? When you have to react, you are in the energy of having to do again. So is there something in your life, a karmic pattern or a trigger that keeps coming up for you, where you're just like, oh my God, I have to do this again? This would cause your spiritual body to feel unaligned, where you will feel not as connected with spirit. So again, it links back to, how can I connect myself to spirit? How can I be in that energy of play, inspiration, fun, or also stillness, meditation, being in my own body? All allows you to be in this energy of alignment. The next card is the Sun card. This card talks about positivity, having a ego or masculine energy that is in alignment with you. When you have an aligned ego, you are in inspiration. You are in the energy of learning. You are in the energy of having to push yourself forward, but understanding that you always have to come back to and work in tandem with your spiritual team, your sacred circle. Your sacred circle can be your friends, your parents, siblings, Earth itself, whatever allows you to tap into your own personal energy. The next card is Weeping Wound. It is card 8. You are not your wounds. So I'm going to read what it says. This is the Lantern Oracle. I like to read messages out of the book because some people need that wording to tap into their own intuition, especially if it helps them to sit in stillness, think a little more, come to center. But right off the bat, it looks like this cloak here is saying, I have been triggered in some sort of way. I feel less than. And that's simply not true. This is also saying somebody communicated something to me that is making me feel not worthy. And remember, that is a perception. You are more than your triggers. You are more than your experience. Because every day we get to co-create with spirit. So this card says, healing happens as your wound receives sufficient attention, treatment, and expressions. Wounds stop bleeding once the pain has been known and released. This occurs to us on an emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual level. Until then, no scar tissue can begin to form, leaving wounds exposed to infection. So, if you are having to be in this energy where you have to keep reacting, or you feel like you are reliving karmic circles, or you are staying in an unaligned ego where ego wants you to stay stagnant, stay in a place of not growth, then you are not paying attention to what are your trauma bonds or your place of hurting, your triggers. Once you start to understand, and that's really half the battle, when you start to understand that this is why this keeps happening, or I'm taking accountability for this or that, and you really do the soul searching, you will understand that you are more than that. You are a creator being. You create the reality that you want for yourself. The affirmation or message for this card is, you are so much more than wounds. It is never too late to grow beyond them. It is always possible to access the rest of your life without them bleeding over. We all must feel, express, and release our ways through pain. There are no shortcuts, but once it is thoroughly done, it is done. It is hard work over an intense period that takes you takes you as long as it takes you. Once complete, the insight, peace, love, and light, liberation of being on the other side of your wound will transform you into an unimaginable ways. Your once greatest hurt has the potential to become your greatest power, if and only if you show up for whatever it takes to process. This is talking about a dark night of the soul as well. So if you are experiencing a dark night of the soul and you're like, hey Becca, I don't know what that is, it is a very intense journey of soul searching, of feeling like I don't know why I'm doing this. It's really essentially a void point where you are unable to see you're unable to see the healing process of your wounds, even though you are in a state of recognizing that you have wounds. It is essentially a way to empower yourself. Once you recognize this and you realize that you're not in this alone, that you have a spiritual team, you have this ability to co-create spirit, and spirit can help heal you. It can help empower you once you begin to think back on your feet. Remember thyself. Remember thyself. Okay, so the next card is immortal treasure. And it is card 14. So this is from the Kuan Yin Oracle. If you don't know who Kuan Yin is, you can look her up. But essentially, she is an archetype that represents the Divine Mother or divine feminine, a divine feminine aspect. So this card is saying, you carry within you precious immortal treasures. They exist beyond life and death, belonging to the celestial heavenly realms of the divine presence within you. Kuan Yin now guides you to honor these treasures, the gifts of your soul, which include the ability you have to transmute healing. Honor yourself as you are a healer. Whether formally or informally, your soul begins a special healing light to humanity. You are a divine support in your healer role, whatever way that is. So this is talking about you being a creator being. It's talking about you are a light in the dark. Even if you can't see that, even if you are so stuck in this energy, you have the ability to pause. You have the ability to say to yourself, what is going on? I remember a time when I used to be this way. How can I grow further on my path? How can I grow to where my ego is allowing me to return to myself? Because essentially you are a spirited energy. You are the light in the dark. You just have to remember that. You just have to remember that when you become inspired, you can look up and see your beautiful reflection. Look up and see that you are this amazing creator being. The last and final card is card 42, and it is the Turquoise Lotus Mother. And I will read what this meaning is out of the book as well. If you find that you are enjoying these kinds of videos, you can follow me on Facebook, like, subscribe here on YouTube, share them out. I am fairly new to YouTube, so I do appreciate everybody who is watching and sharing and liking. Turquoise Lotus Mother brings precious healing to you now. Allow yourself to be lifted out of your struggle. An old pattern is finally in the death thrones, something that weighs heavily from your past. This can be one of the most testing times to allow something to go, just when it seems to be so demanding of your time, focus, and attention. Yet do not doubt, you actually have learned lessons here that is required you, do not doubt, you have actually learned the lessons it is required of you, and now you are blessed with an opportunity to receive karmic healing. So, when we recognize that this happens to us a lot. We have a bad day. We are triggered. Something comes up into our awareness where we have to face our heart wounds. Our wounds that so often we're taught to repress, spiritually bypass. In this world that we are navigating in, you can be so empowered when you learn to address even the smallest of wound. These can be anything like body image, how you learn to speak to people, how you learn to speak to yourself, what is your love language, how Are you navigating your work life, your attachments that you have towards people, money, things, all of these things? When you are in a dark night of the soul, remember that while it feels like you are never going to get out, you will. You will eventually recognize, and recognizing is the half the battle, that you are this beautiful healing energy, that your empowerment can help someone else. And in doing so, you return to the beautifulness that is your soul, that is your soul light. And when you turn that on, you radiate out like the sun. You allow other people to see your beacon of hope, that you are able to empower yourself. You are able to find yourself getting out of what it feels like is this void point, this never-ending point. And then this happens. Your body will begin to feel aligned again. It will begin to feel whole and safe and peaceful and inspired. You will begin to feel your relationships heighten. And you will begin to think rootly on your feet. You will root into who you are and become infinitely empowered. So, I'm going to read this card one more time. My spiritual progress is steady and true. My soul faithfully continues to manifest divine beauty that nourishes all hearts. If you find that you have liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you follow me on Facebook and you want to be a part of Picking a Pile, you can like me on Facebook. If you would like a dream reading, as I am a dream seer, I have the ability to go into the dream space and dream for you. Please message me on Facebook or message me. I will leave my email in the description box below. Just put the subject dream reading. If you want to know further about what a dream reading is, let me know. And I hope that you all have a blessed day. Please, please remember to be kind to yourself.